market's had a kind of a quiet day, back and forth on both sides of even. And right now we're talking with Maree Johnson of agmarket.net. And Maree, what did we see finally at the close today of those grains?
Sure. So in corn, we had front month down, September down 3.5, settled out here at 445 and 3/4. December was similar, 468 and a half on the settle. Soybeans were also off a little bit there at the end, down 3, settled at 1177 and a quarter. November down 4.5, 1188 and 3/4.
So I know there was a little upward momentum. I know wheat was pulling them a little bit higher today, but what was it that kind of made them lose a little ground there today?
Sure. So I think what this market is focused on right now is weather. We have some of the projected rain starting to develop out in the Western Corn Belt. It looks like northern Nebraska's had a shower move through. That's starting to move into Iowa. That's really, as the calendar turns over to August here this weekend, what the market has been focused on. Are we going to see the projected rain coverage of anywhere from 1 inch to 4 inches in some areas of eastern Iowa to stop potential yield loss in corn? And then, of course, we know that August rains are huge yield makers for soybeans. So the market's really going to be focused on whether or not this rain develops. If it doesn't, we could be headed right back in the opposite direction, higher on Monday. So we'll just have to wait and see.
And of course, the temperature has a lot to do with these high temps we've been having in Iowa up
Yeah.
until, basically today. I mean, that's put a lot of stress on some of that crop as well.
It absolutely has, and at least in my part of Iowa in the southeast, it's been warm, it's been hot, but it hasn't been as bad as some other areas have had it. The Dakotas have been an absolute blast furnace, printing actual 100-degree plus temperatures, 20, 30 mile an hour winds. That's really taken the starch out of those crops up there. In the eastern part of Iowa, we've fared better. I know Northwest Iowa is really hoping that they get this moisture that's coming in.
And then on the livestock side of things, cattle's been having a couple rough weeks, but lately have been turning it around a little bit. Did they hold on to any gains today?
Cattle did. So in the feeders, the front month we were up, looks like $2.20 to settle at 346.47. The deferreds were even a little bit better. I'm showing November feeders up 482, looking at a 327.65 close. Live cattle were higher as well, with front month August up 332 at 231.22, and the deferreds up as well. I'm looking at, for example, April up 222 at 226 even. Cattle have had a rough go of things. We had the big announcement last Friday about reopening the border. But, from a chart standpoint, we managed to hold on to those June lows and defend those. We came back to, from a chart perspective, a really nice spot today, got above the 23% retracement in front month feeders, got above the 10-day moving average. We've got the 200-day moving average right above us, though. So that's going to be the next target to see a recovery in this market.
And then what about hogs as we wrap up today?
Sure. Hogs were a little bit lower, and their chart doesn't look quite as nice. August hogs were down 22.50 at 98.42, and the deferreds were off as well. I'm looking at December down 26.75 at 74.52.
All right. Well, folks want to look at some of the intel and some of the things you guys are watching there at agmarket.net. Maree, what's the best way for them to get that conversation started?
Absolutely. They can find any of our brokers at agmarket.net. You can reach out directly to me. My direct line is 641-638-6090.
All right. Maree Johnson of agmarket.net's been our guest here today. Thanks so much for the insight. We'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Just waiting for